Okay, you've been sliding around on the floor for a while and you think you're ready for your first hover. Now, really, if you're going to get into your first hover, you want to pop it up and then sit it right back down. You don't want to try to keep it up there because you're just going to get used to it. Now, you're going to do that a few times. You may even do that for like a whole battery or two. You want to pop it up again, keeping the tail pointed towards you. Now sit it back down. Now don't sit it back down fast, especially if you have a collective pitch helicopter and you're not in normal mode, or your normal mode has quite a bit of negative on your pitch. Sit it back down lightly. Take a breather. You're probably going to be breathing pretty fast, or your heart's going to be racing. Sit it back down. Now you're ready to get into your hover and hold it. So because you popped it up and hovered a few times, pop it up. Remember to hold the tail towards you. Now something's going to happen here that you might not expect, and when you give an input, you've got to give 2 more inputs to stop the helicopter from moving. Now what ends up happening sometimes is you get into this washbowl effect, or even like this, because you're giving the inputs too late, or you're not giving the input that needs to straighten it back out. Now it gets moving to the right. Now to stop it moving to the right, you have to give it to the left and then flatten it out. If you only give one of those moves, it's traveling to the right, and you travel it if you tilt it to the left, it's going to start going back left again. So once it's moving, you've got to give it 2 inputs. You got to get it to stop, and then as it stops, flatten it out. All right. Now if it starts washbowling, you can't control it a bit too much, and you're late in your controls, just try to bring it down really slow. What you might have a tendency to do is let it get away from you. That could go really bad. Try to keep it under 10 feet and within a 10-foot box. If it starts to washing bowl like this, try to get it under control, but set it down lightly. Again, keep the tail pointed towards you. You don't want to get into side-in hovers yet, because the controls are going to kind of be halfway reversed. You'll be in a side-in hover, and if it's coming towards you, you're going to want to push away. But pushing it away is actually going to make it go like that. Mentally, that takes a little while to get used to. So after you're confident in hovers, maybe work on 45-degree in, or go to the side. If you hover to the side, you notice you see the side of the helicopter, and then hover back. I'll get into that in the next video. In this one, really, you want to pop it up and try to hold a stable hover for a whole battery. That's such a great feeling once you can do that. Again, if it gets moving on you, 2 controls to straighten it out. Whoop, a bit too much there. Oh, if you get too much, you're probably going to crash. If it's moving, stop it, flatten it out. It's 2 controls. And on the sticks, that's probably going to look like this. So it's already moving to the right. You're going to press to the left, it's going to flatten out, and you press to the right just a little bit to flatten it out. Now that's another thing that a lot of people do when they're flying helicopters. They think they've got to give full moves. You can get away with that on a plane. Now on a helicopter, things are going to go crazy. Some of the guys watch my sticks when they're first learning. They think, wow, he's barely given any inputs. And on a helicopter, that's really all you need to do. Little tiny inputs. Even one of the best things you can do is just tap. If it's starting to move to the right, just tap it to the left. That way it doesn't get moving too fast. If it gets moving too fast, then you might have to give the big inputs to stop it and then flatten it out. But really, to keep it into hover, little tiny ones like that, just to keep it where it needs to go. And then, like we say, you're in the air, then just bring it back down and controlling the tail the whole time. I hope that helps you guys. Again, email me or post on the video if I've missed anything, or if there's anything you would like me to cover. Take care, guys, and keep flying.